In the heart of the Ashanti Kingdom, under the light of the full moon, a sacred tradition endured. Every 9 moons, a maiden chosen by the elders was offered to appease the gods of the Golden River. Without this sacrifice, the people believed that the river would dry up, bringing famine and ruin to the land. But this cycle of fear and faith was about to be challenged by an unexpected force, love. Amara was the village's brightest light. Her laughter was the melody that carried through the marketplace, and her hands wove the most intricate patterns that adorned the ceremonial Kent cloth. At 17, she was the pride of her parents and the envy of many. Yet, her destiny took a cruel turn when the village priest's divination revealed her as the next maiden to be sacrificed. The announcement cast a shadow over the village. Amara's parents wept, and the villagers averted their gaze, guilt etched into their faces. They had always revered the tradition, but now it demanded the life of one they loved. "I do it," Amara said, her voice steadied despite the storm within her. "If my life keeps the river flowing, I gladly offer it." But deep inside, her heart rebelled. Kwame, the blacksmith's son, had loved Amara since they were children. He couldn't stand the thought of losing her. "This is madness," he shouted, storming into her family's compound. "You can't go through with this. There must be another way." "There is no other way, Kwame," Amara replied, though her voice cracked. "If I run, they'll find me. And worse, the gods may punish everyone." Kwame's jaw clenched. "Then I find a way to save you. Wait for me." Before she could protest, he was gone, leaving behind the faint scent of iron and determination. Kwame sought out Nana Efua, the oldest woman in the village and keeper of forbidden knowledge. Her hut was at the edge of the forest, shrouded in mystery and fear. "Why do you seek me, boy?" Nana Efua's voice rasped as she sat among her charms and relics. "The sacrifice," Kwame said, his voice resolute. "I want to stop it." "Tell me how." The old woman's laughter was dry and bitter. "You think you can defy the gods? Foolish. But perhaps brave. Sit." She told him a tale that chilled him to the bone. The sacrifices were never demanded by the gods but orchestrated by the priests to maintain their power. The river's flow was not tied to any offering but to the natural cycle of rain and drought. "If you want to stop this madness, you must expose the truth," Nana Efua said, her eyes piercing. "But beware, the priests will not surrender their power easily." The village gathered by the Golden River under the light of the full moon. Amara stood at the edge, dressed in ceremonial white, her wrists bound with gold cords. The priest chanted, his voice rising above the murmurs of the crowd. Kwame watched from the shadows, his heart pounding. In his hand, he held a relic Nana Efua had given him, an ancient symbol of the true gods. He stepped forward, his voice cutting through the priest's chant. "Stop this," he shouted. "The gods demand no sacrifice. You have been deceived." Gasps rippled through the crowd as Kwame held the relic high. The priest's face twisted in rage. "Blasphemer," the priest roared. "Seize him." Villagers hesitated, torn between fear of the gods and the possibility of truth. "Listen to me," Kwame pleaded. "The river's flow is natural. The sacrifices are a lie to keep us in fear. Look at this symbol, it is the mark of the true gods, the gods who value life." Amara, emboldened by Kwame's defiance, tore free of her bonds. "If the gods truly demand my life, let them take it themselves," she said, stepping into the river. The crowd held its breath. The river, instead of raging, calmed. Its golden hue shimmered brighter, as if blessing her bravery. The priest stumbled back, his authority crumbling. Villagers began to murmur, doubt spreading like wildfire. "The gods have spoken," an elder cried, pointing to the river. "No more sacrifices." Enraged, the priest lunged at Kwame, but the villagers intervened, pulling him away. The relic in Kwame's hand glowed, solidifying their belief in his words. The Ashanti Kingdom's tradition of sacrifice ended that night. The Golden River continued to flow, proving Kwame's words true. Amara and Kwame became symbols of courage and change, their love celebrated as a new dawn for the village. Under the light of 9 moons, the people gathered, not to mourn a life lost, but to celebrate the life saved. The river song carried through the night, a hymn of freedom and hope.